Winds, one of the strongest storms on record in the Atlantic Basin, and certainly one of the strongest to make landfall at that wind speed. Just devastation, and we'll be, again, as the sun comes up, assessing the damage left behind in its wake. But it's still going. Let's take a look at where Melissa is now. I'm going to pull up our map of the Atlantic Ocean and take a look at, again, the location. You can see the icon here showing it just over southeastern Cuba, where it did make a second landfall early this morning, and that was right about 3:10 a.m. Let's see if I can find our satellite here showing where Melissa is, and you can see there it is. It is weakening slightly, but it's still a major hurricane, a Category 3 hurricane as it moves over eastern Cuba. It's going to then head through the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands, and then eventually head toward Bermuda, and that would be by the end of the week. Hurricane Irma famously made 5 landfalls as a major hurricane. I don't think we'll quite get there, but it is unusual that this storm could make at least 3 landfalls before all is said and done, and the second one happened overnight, 3:10 a.m. It's now moving northeast at 12, sustained winds at 115, coming down just a little bit. Still a Category 3 hurricane, though, as it heads out into the Atlantic and will impact parts of the Atlantic Ocean and Bermuda as we head toward the end of the week. Staying offshore for us, though, coming up, I'll tell you about the system that's going to push it out to sea and bring us wind and rain. Janelle, back over to you.
All right, thank you, Kate.
Let's talk about our forecast today, because we've got a next weather alert which will kick in overnight into tomorrow morning, and at this time tomorrow it can be a very slow commute. Today, not that bad. Today is kind of going downhill a little bit. We are going to be seeing clouds increasing throughout the course of the day. We're not as chilly this morning. When you step out the door, temps are in the 50s still in Philadelphia and Wilmington, across South Jersey, Millville, and down toward Dover. Seeing some 40s to the north and west, but a couple of mornings ago we had widespread 30s, so this is feeling a whole lot milder. But it is breezy, and the breeze is going to make it feel cooler than it is. If you're going to be out and about all day, especially south of the city, you may want to grab the umbrella or have a hood with you. We may see a little sun for the morning commute, but as the day goes on, the chance for a few spotty showers does get more pronounced, and our high today just 58 degrees with clouds and that cool breeze coming in off the Atlantic Ocean. You can kind of see where the winds are lining up. A couple of sprinkles trying to move to the shore points. We're seeing clouds from the city on southeast. That's what's kept us mild overnight. A little more clearing to the north and west, so temps are dropping a bit more, and that's where you'll likely see some sun on and off through the course of today. But this large-scale storm system is headed our way. We've had a couple pass by to the south this week. Not going to get so lucky with this one. It's all going to lift through our area tonight into tomorrow and bring pockets of heavy rain, and that persistent onshore flow is also causing coastal flooding concerns. We have coastal flood advisories posted through tomorrow, as that east wind is just going to keep pushing water up along the shoreline. Not as pronounced certainly as our nor'easter, but definitely 2-3 days of an onshore flow going to lead to at least some minor coastal flooding at the high tide cycle. Something to keep in mind down the shore, and that will continue tomorrow. Taking you through the precipitation timing, you can see the clouds really kind of ramp up today. Showers stay to the south for most of the day. There may be a sprinkle near the city this evening, but it's not until the overnight hours that rain really starts to lift in. It is pouring here by 3 o'clock tomorrow morning, so by the time you wake up this time tomorrow or through your morning commute, pockets of heavy rain. This is 7 a.m. and it just continues throughout the day. Could be a few rumbles of thunder as well, especially right here in the afternoon. We'll start to get the heaviest out of here for the evening drive, but leftover ponding and puddling, and then showers will wrap in around that for your Friday morning at least. We'll clear it out in the afternoon, which is good news for trick-or-treaters, but it is going to be a blustery day. And then over the weekend, seasonable. Remember, we set those clocks back Saturday night into Sunday morning for the end of daylight saving time. Cam, I'll send it over to you. Yeah, this storm is just a monster. It made landfall yesterday as a strong Category 5, tied for the 3rd strongest pressure-wise on record in the Atlantic Basin, 2nd strongest when you look at the wind speeds, and that was at landfall. And generally speaking, these storms strengthen. They get very strong over open water, but to have a storm as strong as it was while making landfall is very, very rare. So we're going to be looking at the impacts to Jamaica throughout the course of today and kind of just see what it left behind in its wake, the kind of cleanup and just kind of a rebuilding that Jamaica will have to do. And now it's moving through Cuba. Here's where Melissa is right now. It is still a powerful Category 3 hurricane at this hour. Made a second landfall overnight in Cuba at about 3:10 a.m. and then headed toward the Bahamas. So here are the latest stats on Melissa. As of the 5 a.m. update, still a Category 3 hurricane with sustained winds at 115, gusts to 140. It's moving northeast at 12 miles an hour, crossing eastern Cuba, and then headed toward the Bahamas. So second landfall around Chivirico, Cuba. That was at 3:10 this morning as a Cat 3. Impacts to eastern Cuba include flash flooding, landslides, and wind damage. And up next, the Bahamas, major hurricane effects later tonight into tomorrow. Melissa will stay off the east coast, but a storm that's going to drive it off the coast will bring us wind and rain. And we have a next weather alert for that tomorrow. I'll have more on that coming coming up in just a bit. Janelle, I'll send it back to you.
All right, it has just been...
At least we're getting the alert day and the rain over with kind of on a Thursday, not Halloween, not the weekend, which is good news. And the other good news about this system that's going to bring us the rain tomorrow is that this is the same storm that is going to help keep Hurricane Melissa, which made, again, a second landfall overnight in Cuba as a major hurricane. It's going to keep that storm off the coast. It may impact Bermuda, though, by the end of the week, but will not be able to make a turn up the eastern seaboard. So we have this system to thank for it, but it's going to bring us some problems nonetheless in the form of wind and rain tomorrow. Today, we're kind of going downhill a little bit. I think we'll see a little sun, especially north of the city in the morning. Clouds are going to overtake the region. It'll be a breezy day and a couple of coastal showers early, maybe a shower near the city, but not until after the sun goes down. Then our alert in effect for the entire day tomorrow. We could see 1 to 3 inches of rain, wind gusts to 30 miles an hour in the city, even stronger at the coast, and coastal flooding concerns. We already have a coastal flood advisory I'll show you. And then Halloween on Friday does get better, but it's going to be a windy day. If your Halloween costume includes maybe a wig of some sort, expect that it could maybe blow down the street as you go trick-or-treating. So something to keep in mind. Let's take a look at your temps right now. We're walking out to 50s in the city and areas to the south, a little cooler to the northwest where we had some clearing overnight. We're going to keep it cloudy though for most of the day. A few breaks of sun the farther north and west you go, but that'll keep us in the 50s, and it's going to feel cooler thanks to a brisk wind coming in off the Atlantic Ocean, which is also bringing some sprinkles to the shore points. Here's the storm that's impacting us tomorrow, though. You can see all of that green. We do need a good soaking rain, so that is a positive for many of us, but it's going to be a slow go all day, and we now have coastal flood advisories posted through tomorrow evening for the shore and the Delaware beaches. So your next weather alert tomorrow is for rain and wind, maybe even a thunderstorm. This is going to be kind of an all-day event. I think the morning commute probably will feature the heaviest of the rain, and then the evening commute will be dealing with residual ponding and some scattered showers, coastal flooding concerns as well. So timing this out, again, we've got a lot of cloud cover today, just a couple of showers down the shore, maybe a shower this evening near the city, and then it just starts to get more active overnight tonight. Tomorrow morning around this time, we've got heavy downpours, and that will continue throughout midday, scattered showers and a rumble of thunder in the afternoon and evening, followed by clearing, but a windy day for Halloween on Friday, and then a seasonable start to November. This weekend looks like a pretty nice stretch into early next week. Kim, I'll send it over to you. Today, but we are timing out rain and wind. A next weather alert tomorrow for this system that's going to impact both commutes. I'll have the latest timing plus the latest on Hurricane Melissa as it continues to churn through the Caribbean. That's all coming up at 6 o'clock.